When I was in divinity school, I took a class on the exegesis of Paul, which is just a fancy way of saying that we studied the letters of Paul, specifically Romans, carefully. I had a professor, her name was Dr. Susan Eastman, and the first day of class, she walked in and she sat down and then had this vacant, hollow look in her eye, and she began rocking back and forth, and she said, "I love you, you love me. I love you, you love me." We're all baffled about this, but this is strange. And then finally, she snapped out of this trance, and she said, "I was offering a prayer, and the prayer that I offered to you was a prayer that someone witnessed to me during my time as a priest. I visited a woman in cognitive decline at the precipice of death. And when I visited her, all she was doing was looking far off in the distance, rocking back and forth, saying, 'I love you, you love me.' I didn't understand until I saw that she was holding a wooden cross in her hand, cradling it in her lap. And it occurred to me that she had lost everything. Her mind had gone, her bodily functions were going away, but the one thing that she had left was prayer, that intimate connection with God, that back and forth. And it wasn't one way. I love you, you love me. It was a back and forth, a back and forth. And I want you to remember that, because whatever you do in life, do it with prayer. We're going to really go deep into Paul's letters, and it's going to be a great intellectual, mental exercise, but do it with prayer. Whatever you do in life, whether you go into business, do it with prayer. When you go into a marriage, do it with prayer. A relationship, do it with prayer. Why? Because in the end, prayer with God, that intimate connection we have with God, that is all we really have. And she's right. I am so privileged that you in the church have given me the ability to go out and sit with people in real milestone moments of their lives. I am privileged enough, Suzanne would agree with me, as well as Amy, we are privileged enough to be there for births, for baptisms, for marriage, for sickness, and for death. We get to be there, and we get to anoint those moments with prayer. And I have to tell you, she was right, Dr. Susan Eastman, because there have been moments when I have encountered people who are in cognitive decline and they have this hollow, vacant stare, and I'll begin doing the Eucharist, and when I get to the Lord's Prayer, something snaps. They eventually begin reciting it with me. Even when I think they've already gone, they will rock back and forth. It's like there's this soul muscle memory that kicks in, and it never fails to astonish me. And when I go through the actual Eucharist, the sacrament, you can tell in the eyes that there is that flicker of recognition. They know what's going on, and they know what to do. And I'm convinced that that soul, spiritual muscle memory, that was cultivated over a lifetime. A community of people prayed over that infant, especially during baptism. As adolescents, during confirmation, there are prayers. Attending church, prayers. Marriage, prayers. Every step of their life, prayer was immersed by them. And this, my friends, is the benefit of church. People ask why church is relevant today. It's relevant today because of prayer. We come together as a community to pray with one another and with God. And the reason why we do that is because what's out there is really tough. And everything that we get out there, whatever trappings we receive in life, it will eventually go away. That's just the truth. But what remains is our lifeline, our connection with God, that intimate back and forth. I love you, you love me. I love you, you love me. This is why it's so important that we uphold the children of this parish. And I'm so grateful that you as a parish in the visioning exercise placed as one of your priorities to uphold children and youth. Now let's be clear, it's not just a nice thing to do where the children sort of walk out and, they're adorable, are they not? Yes. But something deeper is going on. We're teaching those children, we are giving them the tools and the skills to pray, to connect with God, because what's out there is pretty rough. It's really rough. And we care about you, children and youth, and we want to guide you with whatever that you're going to face in life, in college, in school, in whatever. Know this, that we are with you in prayer as a church community, and we are with one another in prayer as a church community. I was reminded of that this week. Janice Kell passed away, Alan Neal, and last night at 12:25, Ed Lester passed away. But here's the hope. Here's what you need to hear, is that each person within their own individual journey, they prayed, and you prayed alongside with them. Many of you gave meals, sent notes, emails, text messages. We prayed together as a community. We walked. And finally, we prayed with them at the very last moment in last rites. And you were with me at 2:30 this morning praying over the final remains of Ed's body. You were there as the church. And that's it. That's our lifeline. And so when the disciples in Luke's Gospels, they asked, Jesus, teach us how to pray. You would think Jesus would give this long answer, a complicated answer, but he gives us the Lord's Prayer, which is a beautiful, elegant prayer, and everything is incorporated into it. Hope, nourishment, forgiveness, and recognizing God's sovereignty and power. When you read Genesis, and I love it, you see Abraham. He's like a used car salesman haggling back and forth with God. That's not the point. The point of Genesis is that Abraham is engaging God. He is in deep prayer with God. It's a back and forth, a back and forth. And that's what prayer is meant to be. Prayer is a back and forth, a back and forth. Now, we always think, listen, I prayed hard. God, please grant me this. Please grant me this. Maybe if I just pray hard enough or strong enough or persist enough, then I will get what I prayed for. We're not guaranteed that. But be very careful when you read the second part of Luke's gospel, because I have to tell you that what we get or what we don't get, that is secondary. What's primary is that intimate connection with God. The back and forth, back and forth. I love you, you love me. It's that back and forth. That's what prayer is meant to be. That's what it's about. Here's the thing. Even if we do get everything we want, even if all of our wildest dreams do come true through prayer, it'll eventually go away. It does. It's just a fact of life. What remains is prayer. That intimate connection between God and us, a back and forth, and that's why we come here as a church community, is we cultivate and strengthen that, not only for ourselves, but for one another. Because again, it's rough out there, isn't it? It's rough, but that's okay, because God is with us each and every step of the way, and we've agreed to walk with others every step of the way. And so there's no other better way of God establishing God's power and authority in the last lines of the Lord's Prayer, which literally proclaims that God has the final say, not death, not this brokenness. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever and ever. Thanks be to God. Amen.